morning. Happy Monday. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend. Almost forgot what I was gonna say. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend and all that good stuff. I wanted to come wish you guys a good week again. And yeah. So hopefully everybody has a good week. I know last time I think I was speaking a little bit about the trolls. It's funny because like I know I don't pay attention to trolls or anything like that, but I get them. I get a lot of people that do that to me, you know. They troll me and stuff, right? But I've always had issues with that because I believe it's because I'm different, right? So I don't follow the norm, or I try not to be like sheep-like, right? And just do everything that everybody else is doing. I try to just do my own thing and be myself, right? And because of that, I get a lot of hate for it, right? Or I've always had, you know, even within my family and stuff too. I was always deemed as different from them, or not good enough, or just different, you know. Like I would like be myself around them or a lot, and then they thought I was weird. You know. So if I be myself, like I know I'm goofy sometimes, you know, but just by being me, you know, they wouldn't even laugh at me half the time, or they'll just say I was weird, or tell me to be quiet, you know. And so a lot of the times I have to hold back, you know, around them, and not do certain things around them because I was trying to fit in with them, you know. But over the years, you know, I learned that I had to be myself, right? Sorry, it's really bright. So over the years I learned that I had to just, regardless of what they thought about me, you know, just be myself, right? and that's in general, not even within the family, you know. It's just like at school and everything too. But I never changed for anyone, and that's where the issue arises, you know. But it never changed me regardless. So I kept being myself, you know, regardless. I probably wouldn't do as much around them, but I would never change who I was, right? And so I did get a lot of hate for it and stuff, just because of how I am, I guess. That's the only reason I could think of why they would hate me so much or do certain things towards me, is because of how I am. But the thing with me, like, I just didn't want to be like everybody else. You know, I was always a type where, like, people would do certain things or bully people. Like, I've witnessed, even at my old employer, you know, there'd be cliques of females hanging out together and stuff like that. And I would always be alone. Like, I was taught to them and say hi and stuff, but in the end of the day, I kept to myself majority of the time, so I didn't really like click up with people. I always was independent, you know. I always stayed to myself, but I would witness with how they would act within the group, you know, and they would like bully other employees and stuff, or talk about them, or laugh at them, crack jokes, and just be really rude and mean towards other people, right? And I didn't want to be like that, so I didn't really click myself with them. And it's so crazy because, like, I had certain friends that actually were cool with me that actually stopped talking to me because they clicked up with them, you know. And because I guess they deemed them as cooler. So they would do like, I had this friend, she ended up clicking up with them, right? And then she started acting weird towards me. But I guess it's because, you know, they're deemed as the cool ones. So the thing with that though, I wouldn't even like go down that path, you know, because I know it's not right. And so like how they acted towards other people, how they laughed at other people's hardships and disabilities. And like there's literally this lady on a she had this walker, and they would talk about her all the time and laugh at her and all this stuff, but I'm just like, she's already suffering and have to go through that. Why would you make it worse? You know, just certain things like that. But you know, regardless of how they acted or what they did towards other people, you know, I always try to stay true to myself and be my most authentic self, right? And regardless of how they liked it or not, you know, I just kept to myself, and it was easier that way. But you know, a lot of people could ruin their lives, you know, trying to be sheep-like, right? Trying to follow what everybody else is doing because it's cool, even though it's harmful to society and to themselves. They harm themselves because they lack being themselves. They don't want to be themselves. They want to be like everybody else. And so they act out of character, and they do certain things that's harmful to society and to themselves and to others. And they fall sheep-like. And so even if there truly wasn't that way before, you know, they chose that path. And because of them choosing that path, the individuals that they followed, you know, that are actually on the wrong path, they have to suffer their consequences as well, because they chose to follow them, because they chose not to be their authentic self, right? And so they have to suffer the consequences as well as the individuals that they clicked up with or that they followed, pretty much. And so I just think it's good to be yourself, like literally. Like, I know I was called weird and everything like that, but I didn't care. I just kept true to myself and still did what I had to do, and not change who I was for anyone, you know, regardless of how much I was talked about, you know, because I didn't want to be sheep-like, you know. And because I was able to continue to grow and be myself and follow my own path and not be a sheep, pretty much. I was able to find out a lot about myself. Like literally, I was able to go on my self-discovery journey alone by myself, but it actually opened up a lot of things to me. Like the biggest one was my true identity. Like I wouldn't have known that if I didn't go off on I wouldn't have figured it out if I didn't have that courage just to continue to be myself and not be a sheep, you know, and do everything that they wanted me to be or do. I was able to find out more about myself pretty much by being myself. And I wouldn't have found it out if I didn't go on my own self-discovery journey, you know, and being true to myself, you know. And by me doing that, I was able to find out a lot of information that was hidden from me for my entire life, literally. And I wouldn't have found that out or figured it out if I acted like a sheep, pretty much. So if they wanted me to be a certain way or act a certain way or do certain things like they were doing that were dark, you know, I would have never found out anything, to be honest. I would probably still be stuck right now. And but because I chose to be my true self and stay authentic to myself, you know, and not change for everybody and walk in my own purpose, I was able to figure out who I truly am. And now that I look back to it, it's crazy because I would have never found it out because it was hidden from me on purpose. And if I would have just followed them, I would be lost right now still. I didn't realize how lost I was before until I went on my own journey by myself, you know, away from them. And by me doing that, I'm glad I did it, to be honest, because now I feel like I'm not confused anymore or pretty much confused of why I was getting treated a certain way or feeling like there was something wrong with me. But in all reality, I was just being hidden. So even in so pretty much it's good to be yourself in the end of the day, and don't follow everybody just because it seems cool, because in the end of the day it might seem cool at that moment, but once those consequences roll in, you're gonna have to take part of that too, the karma for it. So it's just good to be yourself and have your own mind, and don't follow everybody. Follow what you feel is good for you, and don't just do it because everybody else is doing it. Even in job interviews and stuff too, just like they're not looking for the same type of people that they already have. Because, in the interview questions, they ask you, like, what can you bring to our company? They're looking for that uniqueness, a difference from what they already have. If they keep hiring the same type of people, they're not going to get anywhere in a company, or there's not going to be any changes because everybody's doing the same thing and everybody's trying to be like the next person instead of just being who they truly are, because everybody have different gifts. Like if you're always striving to be like someone else, you can't ever tap into your own gifts because you're always trying to be like the next person. So in most jobs they look for the uniqueness in different people, right? And so they're not looking for the same stuff over and over and over again because it gets boring, right? So they need someone that's unique and different, and if you're always being like a sheep, you're not showing your true authentic self, and so they're never going to see that, right? So that's what they're looking for, is the difference. You being yourself, not like everybody else. And I've noticed that through like a lot of interviews and stuff, they ask you that question. What can you bring to our company that will benefit us that more? Or what type of potential do you think that you have to be able to make our company greater? Certain questions like that, but they're looking for something different to actually make a change in their company for the best. And so I don't know, I just never thought it was a good idea to follow everybody. I always tried to follow myself. And you have to, because if not, like, the world's gonna stay the same. It's like it's kind of boring. Like if you see, like, for example, for Tesla, right? Everybody has a freaking Tesla. So like it gets boring sometimes where you're driving, you're just like, okay, that's another Tesla. Like, so you're just like, it's kind of like, it's just boring to me. Because it's like the same, over and over and over again. And you're just like, you're not even, it just seems like, I don't know, to me, it just seems like, I don't know, it's just too much of the same stuff. So, I mean, like, for me, I have nothing against Teslas or anything like that, but it just seemed like everybody has them. And, like, with me, I probably wouldn't even get a Tesla because I'm not trying to be like everybody, But that's just me. But it benefited me, like, to be by myself and have my own mind and think for myself, right? Because if not, I would probably, who knows where I would be right now. I definitely wouldn't know who I am, because that was definitely hidden from me. And if I didn't have that courage to step out on my own and persevere through everything, who knows where I would be at right now, like, literally. So I don't know, I just feel like it's good to be yourself, and don't follow everybody just because it looks cool, because it might look cool for that second or that minute or hot minute, but in the end, everything, what goes around comes around, pretty much, and you will have to suffer the consequences of your actions, regardless of how much time has passed and how much you feel like you got away with it. And so if you didn't act like a sheep, a lot of people probably wouldn't be in certain situations as far as the consequences of their actions, right? because they felt like it was cool at the time. So, I don't know, I always say, like, you can never go wrong being yourself. And I mean, if you're really like that, then that's fine, you know. If you want to be a sheep, if you've been like that and it's normal for you, that's you. You know, I'm talking about, like, people that aren't like that and they choose to do it because they think it's cool, you know. So, yeah. So, I mean, in the end of the day, I feel like, you know, it's not about what everybody else wants for you. It's about what you want for your life and for yourself, because in the end of the day, you're the only one living your life. And those people aren't going to be there forever, you know. And, you know, I would get a lot of crap, though, like, if I wanted to do, like, okay, for instance, if I, like, would give my kids a bath a certain way, you know, I would get crap about it. Like, you're supposed to make the water hot first and then do it this way and then do that, then do this, and then it's good. But since I since I turned, like, put the plug into the tub first and then check the water, I was wrong, you know. I'm just like, no, I have my own mind, you know. I'm not going to do everything that you do because I'm my own individual person, right? And just certain things like that. Or if I wash the dishes a certain way, I'm like a horrible person. But I don't know, I just never felt like everybody should do everything the same way that someone else does it, you know, like, because everybody has their individual minds, right? And if you're continually doing things because other people want you to do it their way, you're never really living your life, because you're living out their life pretty much. And I learned that a really long time ago. And because I didn't want to do it, you know, I got crap for it. And so, I mean, I always thought like that, to do things myself, though. And I'm glad I was like that, because I wouldn't have made it as far as I have now, you know. And I wouldn't have realized a lot neither. And so I'm glad I stayed true to myself and did everything I wanted to do for myself, and not listen to everybody, you know, because they were trying to steer me down the wrong path. Anyway, now I think about it, and if I would have listened, I would have been, like, ruined pretty much. So that's why it's good to follow your heart and be your true self, and don't follow everybody just because it's cool, you know. Follow who you are and be who you are individually, because that's where you're gonna make it and be successful, you know. You're just always remember, they're always looking for something different, not of the same, you know, the same stuff. If everything stays the same all the time, and nothing changes, you know. And so it's good for people just to be who they truly are, because everybody have gifts. And if you're always following everybody else and you're not tapping into your own gifts or your own self, pretty much, and you're not providing the world with anything new other than the norm. So it's good to think outside the box and think for yourself, and not take action based upon other people, pretty much. So that's why I don't mind the trolls. I don't really care. They don't really bug me, because in the end of the day, I know at least I'm true to myself, you know. And that'll get you further than not. So, yeah. But I just wanted to come and wish you guys a good week and all that good stuff. So, yeah. I'm probably going to go bang out the rest of this day, do me. So, I just wanted to pop in for a quick hot sec and talk to you guys. So, yeah. All right, so I'll be on later to talk to you guys, and check out my podcast on Spotify. I do have a new episode up, but if you guys want to check it out. But yeah. But I love you, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.